Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mockingbird mixing. In this little series, I will be showing you how to mix on a X32 compact, which is basically the little brother of the standard X32. It's the 16 channel input output version. It's a little bit easier to carry around. It basically has everything, only it has less inputs and less outputs. I chose this one, by the way, because I really like how the X32 works, but I'm not a big fan of the preamps. So my plan is to actually buy some Midas preamps since they are also working with the X32 set. So I will barely be using the preamps from the X32 and will be working with the preamps from the M32 stage rack. Okay, so now first to start, in this first episode, I will talk with you guys about three things. It will talk with you guys about routing, gain structure, and the scribble strip. Now, because first of all, I use Pro Tools right now to use a multi-track recording that I'm sending to the table, and in this way we can just practice using the table with music that was actually recorded live in a bar, the Waterhole. So now for us to start, I first need to go to routing because since I'm using the card and not the local inputs, I've got to change how I'm working here. So, as you can see here, let me see if you guys can see this properly. I will zoom in a little bit. Okay, now as you guys can see here is local 1 to 8 and local 9 to 16. So I am going to change these by just scrolling down and selecting card 1 to 8 and card 9 to 16. Now on our first 16 channels there it should now be visible. And as you can see, it's actually playing here. So that is great. So let's check what we have here, shall we? Well, and as you can hear, we already have a little music going on here. Uh, but it's not quite ready to use properly yet. So we gotta change some things. First of all, one of the things I always like to do is work with a gain structure on which everything is around equal if you work on a table, because then you know what you can expect. So I'm now going to turn these off, and but before I do the actual gain structure, I will start with the scribble strip, because as you can see there are no names here whatsoever. Everything is unorganized basically, and even though the patching is done correctly, we have actually no clue what is what. Normally, with most tables, you use a little piece of tape and you write on that what you are actually working with. But with the X32 and most of the other high-end tables, you can actually you can actually name your channels. Now, how do we do this? We go to setup, and here we have a little, and then I'm gonna zoom into the menu again. Okay, and now I will go to scribble strip right here. As you can see, we have an easy selection right here in front of us. When you use the iPad, it can be a bit quicker since you can type using the iPad. Well, and that is always a little bit easier. But right now we're just working with the table and we're getting to know the table to see what we can all do with it. Now, to change the channel, you can use this little button, this little knob here, and you can press to. Oh, you don't even have to press. Um, and of course, that is quite handy. But what is way easier is that you can also just push the select buttons that are above your channel. So you will see that right now. the channel is changing, and that's because I am pressing the select button above the fader strip. So we're gonna start with one. I've got everything. I've got a little list in front of me so that I actually know what I am doing, and I am going to name everything now. Well, the first 9 channels are all part of a drum kit, so I want them to be in the same color that I know what I'm working with, and I am going for purple with the drum kit, and that is the first thing that I'll do. Well, now the drum kit is completely purple, but they still have no name. So that is the next thing that I'm going to do, and that just by selecting an icon, you can see that the name here already is changing, and that is very easy to work with for us. And because if I now press the select button right below here, you'll see that the name immediately changes. Now I have a kick in and a kick out, so what I'm going to do is I select the name editor, and I can still change the name more detailed if I want to. And in this case, I want to. So the first one will be kick in. And as you can see right here, the name is changed and we have the kick in. Now, I'm going to do this for all the other channels. I will forward this for you guys so it will be a little bit faster, so you guys can get the ID and it won't take too long. See that everything is neatly organized. Well, isn't that great? Yeah, I think it's pretty damn great, man. Okay, so let's see what we have here, shall we? As you can see, the guitar here is a little bit close to the red, and I don't really like that. I kind of want everything to be around the same volume, so that if I have everything gained out, I have just use my faders to keep control of everything, and then I can put all the faders on 0, and everything should be around the same volume. Of course, what is important to remember, this is only one type of style of using gain structure. There are many other ways. You do not necessarily have to gain everything out equally, but it is easy to work with. So I am now just going to check everything how it is, and I am going to press the view button, and you'll see that you get a lot more detailed look of how the kick is working right now. So I basically it's hitting the 6 right now, the -6, and it's a little bit too close to 0. I actually want it more to be between the 18 and 12 area. So I'm gonna turn this one a bit down, and I'm gonna see if I can do this for everything. As you can see, I am turning it down, and the meter, yeah, it's now around that area. Well, and I'm going to do this for every channel. Snare drum. Let's turn on a little of the music, shall we? We at least have something to listen to. It doesn't all have to be silent. Okay, so we continue here. Still a little bit too much. There we go. Yeah. Okay. And let's see here. Can also be turned down. Is he even using the thumbs right now? No, that's just what the mic already is picking up, so we can turn it down pretty much. Overheads I'm gonna leave the way it is because you don't really want to mess with the overheads. You want them to be equal to each other. Next one, guitar. Looks pretty neat. Yeah, keys. Give me a little bit more. Keys is actually pretty damn good. What shall we do with this? I'm actually pretty satisfied about the keys. Well, let's see what the vocals does. Yeah, a little down. Who got the keys to my beam? I get the keys. No control, huh? This one isn't doing anything yet. And yeah, the vocalist here was a drummer. So I am doing this a little bit on a guess, and if there still comes a vocal coming up, well, then we'll see what we do with that next. Okay, so if we look right now, we got 16 channels. Everything is gained. Everything has a name. Everything is organized by color, name, and yeah, that's about it for the first episode. So I'll see you guys next time.